Hi everyone, good evening, how are you? We're here live with Robert Shemin, a very special guest tonight, and we're going to talk about a bunch of interesting things that are going to bring lots of value to you guys. So if you are out there and listening, please feel free to share, do some small hearts and likes so we'll know that you're there with us. And actually, we're going to have 3 of Robert's books and a seminar of mine. So that is something that is going to be worth doing. So just do shares, likes, and let us know that you're there. So good evening, Robert. How are you?
Great. How are you doing? Ma kore?
Ma kore. Akol beseder. Everything is perfect. It's really, really nice to have you tonight. Let's just say here, I'm great starting to see people connecting. Yeah, this is really great. So a little thing in Hebrew with your permission, okay?
Yalla, yalla.
יאללה, יאללה. ערב טוב חברים, מה שלומכם? אנחנו פה הערב עם רוברט שמין, אתם מוזמנים לעשות לנו לבבות, לייקים, כדי שנדע שאתם איתנו הערב בשידור. אנחנו הולכים לתת הרבה מאוד ערך בשידור הזה לגבי תוצאות, ליצור תוצאות, בין אם זה בפן של הנדלן, בין אם זה ברמה של החשיבה והתפיסה, ולראות באמת איך זה מתקשר לשפע כלכלי, ואנחנו הולכים להגריל 3 ספרים של רוברט שמין, וסמינר שלי, יוצרים תוצאות. כל מה שצריך לעשות כדי לזכות, זה לעשות לנו לבבות, לייקים, שנדע שאתם פה איתנו, ואנחנו כמובן נפרסם אחר כך כדי לראות מי זכה בפרס, ויש הטבה מיוחדת לכל מי שהולך להיות איתנו פה בשידור, אז ערב מעולה. So, after all the chit-chat in Hebrew, we're going to start. I know that you are doing a lot of things and you're going around the world giving lectures and you're a public speaker. You've wrote books, which is really interesting. And I know that you're teaching people on how to create wealth and income with real estate and other fields as well, but real estate in specific, even if you don't have the first investment to make. So can you tell us a little bit of, you know what? I want to hear about that, but I also want to hear about how it all started with you. You know, personal stories are always what is most interesting.
Yep. Well, it's funny. I'm here in the Miami airport. I'm about to fly to St. Louis to speak. And then I'm flying to Istanbul and Tel Aviv, Israel, where I'll do about seminars. I have about 500 investors in Israel doing deals over the phone, buying and selling real estate and renting in the United States and Europe, a little bit in Israel. We do between 50 and 150 deals a month from Israel over the phone. Crazy.
Wow. Over the phone.
All the phone, internet, email, Skype, and sometimes they come and visit, but they don't really have to. But it's amazing. So how did it all start? It's crazy. I really don't know. I'm looking at you being interviewed here, and I'm like, maybe this is a dream. Maybe I'm still in 8th grade, staring at the clock, thinking it's all a dream, because there's no reason.
Time flies fast.
What's that?
Time flies fast.
Yeah. When people look at me, people always think certain things. Oh, he's American, some rich real estate guy, author. But here's what they don't know. I didn't speak until I was about 10 years old. I had a speech impediment. I also had braces on my legs. I never went to school. Then when I was finally about 10, they taught me how to speak. I used to talk So I never really did much. I was around a lot of negativity. And anyway, when I started speaking, everyone said, oh, Robert talks now, everything will be great. The problem was I flunked every class, 0, 0, 0. They discovered later when I was 18 I have a rare form of dyslexia, which I think is great because that means you're definitely going to be successful if they give you a label, right?
Really?
Sure.
So this is really interesting what you're saying because, the day after tomorrow, all the kids are going to start kindergarten, school. The 1st of September is the big day. So you're saying that you were dyslexic, and it is actually something that made you successful?
Absolutely. I think the kid that learns the most is the one that's in the most trouble. And that was me. I always tell people,
when you're from the difficulty, yes, let's say it is a way to grow.
It's perception. I mean, look at Israel. Why is it so successful and amazing with more patents and business startups in all of Europe? And I love my Israeli friends. I always ask them, "Ma nishma, ma kore? How's it going?" They said, "Horrible. The government's bad. Taxes are bad. Business is bad. The economy's bad. But I've got a startup. I was in Thailand for 3 months. I'm going to India for 6 months. And I just sold my apartment for 2 million shekels in Tel Aviv. And I got stocks and bonds." Like, oh, things are horrible, huh? I think the adversity, the challenge makes people smart. I mean, Yiddish cup, challenge.
How did it work for you, though? Because you say that you flunked every class there is out there, and you were dyslexic. And, it probably, and I'm guessing right now, because, I would love for you to tell a little bit more about that. But I'm guessing that maybe it affected your confidence, let's say, as a child growing. How did it all change, and when?
Well, I was around a lot of negativity and, in school, which I respect school and education. I never graduated high school. I never got a diploma. They focus on what you can't do. So all I heard all growing up was what I can't do. You can't do math. You can't do science. What's wrong with you? You can't type. What's wrong with you? You got a bad attitude.
Yeah, you're a failure.
Yeah, they never focus on what you can do. Everybody has a strength. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has maybe a weakness or something they don't like. I now have a school. I started a school, and I don't allow any kids to be labeled. I don't believe there's any such thing as ADD. When we want to pay attention, we pay attention. How can we have attention deficit disorder when we pay attention? A kid will play a game for 10 hours or read a book, or how can they have attention deficit disorder if they can focus? But anyway, so for me, I had to learn how to get out of a lot of trouble. I was always in trouble, and I think I developed good people skills from that, which to me, whatever business you're in, I think even high tech, which you were in, there's a person behind the computer. There's a person behind the bank. There's a person behind the deal. So although I did very poorly at school, academically, I did very well with people. I learned how to get along with different people.
Yeah, it's all about people at the end, isn't it?
Yeah. There's always somebody, and everybody's the same, whether you're a prime minister, president, a rock star, a billionaire, a broke person. We're all just people, and everybody has the same thing. So I was very lucky. And I tell people the only reason I'm around, and I tell people find somebody positive. My grandmother, we called her Nanny, Zafta, right? She was always positive. She was the only one I remember who always said, "Robert, you can do whatever you want. Don't listen to everybody else. Don't listen to the negativity." And I want to challenge everybody. How much negativity are we around every day? And guess who the most negative person I know is? Me.
Yeah, well, okay.
The voice in the head, it won't work. It's crazy. Your mother won't like it. It's a risk. And, you learn to deal with that when you have challenges. But anyway, I never graduated high school. I did go to university later, which is kind of amazing. I was thrown out of school 3 times, and I got back in, which is kind of impressive, I think. For me.
Definitely.
But anyway, I was going nowhere. I worked in restaurants. And when I was 27 years old, I was broke. No money, no credit. I was a homeless teenager for a while. I was actually homeless in Israel when I was 17.
Really? You lived in Israel?
Yeah. I went there when I was 17, like everybody in one of those programs, and I ran out of money. And I was wandering around Yerushalayim with no food, no money. And thank God, a beautiful woman named Lisa Treitman Solomon invited me in and gave me some food, and I think saved my life. I've been homeless in the U.S. and in Israel, so I'll never forget that. And anyway, when I was 27, I met a gentleman, and I was brought up like most people. To be successful, you have to come from a rich family. I didn't have a rich family, so we're not successful. It takes money to make money. You have to be really smart, a doctor, lawyer, get a job, study, get more degrees. If you don't like it, study some more. If you don't like your job, suffer some more, right? Nice Jewish family, suffer.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, keep suffering. If you suffer enough, maybe you'll have some success.
Part of the game. Yeah, everything is okay.
Yeah, I don't like that plan. And my family suffered. I mean, they worked hard, they suffered, and I didn't like it. And I said, there's got to be a better way. And one day I met a gentleman. I dedicated my first 3 books to him named Ray Binion. No background, no education, no sophistication. He had 120 properties paid for. He was making millions of dollars a year. He started with nothing. And in 1 minute I met him, and my brain did a complete flip.
Yeah,
I said, everything I've been taught is not true. He had no money. He's not smart. He's not sophisticated. He has no degrees. And he's doing very well. And he takes 6 months vacation a year. And I said, wait a minute. If he can do this, I have a chance.
This is amazing. It's actually a turning point, because you're saying to yourself what everyone was telling me and what I was thinking that all of those years that I was, a complete failure. Like you're saying that nothing is working, and everyone around you keeps saying, well, keep on suffering and doing the things that you don't like in order to succeed. And then you see this other person that has nothing of the above and has made, and is very successful.
Yeah. My dad worked 47 years for the same company. And I know in Israel, we have a month of holiday, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Passover set. In America, you get 10 days vacation a year. Everybody works 50 weeks. They take a week or 2 off. My dad worked so hard. He worked 6 days a week. He took a week off, and that was it. This guy is taking 6 months vacation. The money's coming in whether he works or not. And I'm like, show me how to do it. And I followed him around for a year. And like everybody, I didn't listen. I fought him. I argued with him because I thought I was smart. Imagine how I look back. I go, if I was him, I would have punched me. Here's a guy making dollars, telling me what to do. 1, 2, 3. It's pretty simple. Again, we love to complicate things. And I argued with him. Oh, what about this? How about trying that? I look back.
Because you had those beliefs inside of you that you grew up on. So now he's like snapping each and every one of them. So yeah, I can imagine. I can see it in front of my eyes. Okay.
Yeah. My mother was a great mom. May she rest in peace. And she had a recipe for turkey, for green bean casserole, for cakes. She was an amazing mother, right? It's a recipe. Mm-hmm. And this guy had a recipe for real estate and a recipe for wealth. And other people have a recipe for happiness. And it's a recipe. And nobody gave me the recipe. And finally, I met somebody who did. And if you follow the recipe, if you follow my mother's pie recipe or turkey for Thanksgiving or whatever you want, or latkes.
So I bet it's going to be delicious, huh?
You'll have pretty much the same thing. Maybe not made with her love and her exact touch, but it's going to be similar. And nobody gives us the recipe to do deals, real estate, wealth, money. And I felt like I got the recipe. And after I stopped fighting myself and him, I did the hardest thing for anybody to do. I let go, got out of the ego, and said, I'm going to stop arguing. I'm going to listen. He says, do Aleph, Bet, Gimel, 1, 2, 3, Hod Stein, whatever. I'm going to do it. And I did it, and I had no money, no credit. And within 14 months, I had 14 properties, and I was making like $6,000, $7,000 a month from rents coming in, whether I worked or not. And, you make $6,000 a month in Nashville, Tennessee. It's not Herzliya Patuch or Tel Aviv or New York. That's like making $10,000, $12,000 a month because I wasn't paying taxes, with the write-offs and all that stuff. And I was making as much as my bank friends and my lawyer friends. And I had 28 tenants. I had nothing to do. And I'm like, this is great. And I retired.
But this is really interesting. I'm going to stop you for a second because I want to go backwards a little bit. You're saying that you've listened to him and you had like 14 properties in 14 months. Is that okay? Is that right?
Correct.
So it means that every month you had a new property and with no first, something to invest, or this just came like that for you.
Correct.
Can you elaborate a little bit? Because I know that the people that are listening to us right now are wondering, well, how can it be? Because we know that in order to get an asset, we need to invest sort of, X or Y in order to, get it. Yeah. And you did it rapidly because, 14 months and 14 assets are unheard of. It's like.
Well, I'm 3 today. I'm still an active investor.
Well, time has changed.
Everyone's probably thinking, well, his great-grandmother passed away and he inherited $1 million, or he won the lottery, so he took the $1 million and he did it. So I had $180 in my checking account when I became an investor. My rent was $800. That was a good month. I was always behind. Credit, I had none. My parents, like most nice Jewish parents, taught me never borrow money. It's evil. It's wrong. It's don't do it. It's dangerous. That's how they were brought up. So I went to my mentor and I said, listen, how am I going to buy property? I have no money, no cash, and no credit. I actually went to the bank and they typed in my number, said, you don't exist, no credit. And I went to him and said, I can't do real estate. I have no money and no credit. And guess what he said? He was a tough old bird. He was like I call him the redneck rabbi, very simple man, but very wise, like Yoda, very simple, never went to school. And he said, Robert, you're right. With that attitude, you can't. All you keep telling me is what you can't do. Change your thought. Ask this question, how can I? And I said, I don't have any money. I don't know how can I get credit? He said, find someone who does. So I found a good deal, and I wrote it on a sheet of paper, and I went to 6 people, 3 of them I didn't even know, and asked for their opinion. Now, if you go ask in Nashville or Tel Aviv someone, hey, Sharon, I need some money. I have an investment. The minute I say I need money, it's going to be like the Iron Dome. Warning, danger, run, no, low. But if I say, listen, Sharon, you're an intelligent woman, your business background, you're a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant. I'd like your opinion. I found a deal. I'd like your opinion. They got to be honest, right? Yeah. And he told me that. Ask for money, ask for people's opinions. Everybody's got opinions. And the second, third person I went and asked the opinion, they go, that's a great deal. And he had what I didn't have. He had credit. If you do a startup in Israel, you find a team that has what you don't have, a tech, a code writer, money, a salesperson. You build a team. So I went around and found people with what I didn't have, money and credit. And I found a money partner. He would borrow the money. It wasn't even his money. And we split the deal. Mm-hmm. And it was fair. I'd find the deal, do the work. He borrowed the money because he could. I couldn't. And that's how I did my 50, 60 deals.
So you actually went there. You went out there and you found the deals and the potential revenues, and you just, gave to his attention. Listen, this are the opportunities, and then you split the, whatever was made out of that business. So this sounds great because everyone has something to give.
Right. And smart people like him and other people make decisions. He looked at the deal, asked a few questions, this is a great deal. It had to be a good deal. I was trained never to make a decision. When you work for somebody else, if you make too many opinions, you'll stick out, they'll chop your head off, But wealthy, successful people, I didn't know many of them. I just called people and asked and kept going. And people say, well, how many deals do you look at till you find one? I said, until you find one. How many people do you talk to until you get the money? Until you get the money. And that's how I was trained. I still don't use my money for real estate. I use other people's money and other people's credit. Mm-hmm. And, in Israel and America, most people are making 1%, 2%, 3% on their money. It's in the bank. Maybe it's in the stock market. Maybe some are doing.
But how do you know where to start from? Because here you are in a very completely new field. I'm talking about the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And you have no cash to invest, and you want to go further and create results, right? Yeah. So how do you know where to start? What to do first, and how to make it happen?
Yeah, simple. Most people like me overwhelm themselves. Wait a minute. I got to find a deal. I got to find the money. What about this? What if the tenants are bad?
Yeah,
what if the contract
is overwhelming,
Yeah.
I want to simplify. Yeah. I want to simplify the action steps.
We call paralysis analysis. And you're going to laugh. It's step by step. And when I was very lucky, I had a mentor, and he said, step 1, let's make a goal. My goal is to get 14 properties in 14 years, 1 a year. Okay, nice goal. I want to make X amount of dollars. That's step 1. Why are you doing this? What's your motivation? Are you really motivated? Number 3, do you have the time? I didn't have time. I was working 2 jobs, restaurants. So block the time. I blocked 3 hours a week. This is a system he gave me. I still use it to this day.
3 hours a week, and that's it? Did you manage to get to results in that period of time? Because it's not a lot. It's 3 hours a week.
In 3 hours and 5 minutes, you can change the world. my mentor, who wasn't Jewish, who wasn't Israeli, I mean, I love Israel, yalla, yalla, go, 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 everybody's rushing. He said something that changed my life. He said 5 minutes is a long time. You make one phone call to the right deal, the right person can change everything. But what do we do?
Definitely.
We think about it, wonder about it, worry about it, correct? Time's your most important asset. I could show you block time. I had Wednesday from 6 to 7 after work, Sunday, whatever, focused, you know? It's
so
about
let's make it as a main message, because I think that no matter where you are in life at the moment, if you're, let's say, very busy doing your daily job and you have no extra time, so what we're saying here is actually, even if you can make 3 hours a week, you can get something going by doing the right action steps. And I know that you're talking about something that is, you're teaching something that helps a lot of people, and that is fast.
Yep.
So
gotta be fast and focus.
Fast as for find and for find, like to find an aspect, right?
Find it, analyze it, systems, make it happen. Build
a system, and then turn it to profit. So I know that is your, let's say, the way that you're dealing with deals, and this is something that you teach, and this is actually really smart, I would say, because it has everything in it.
Yeah. And the other I've made in every mistake possible. So, learn from my mistakes. I used to go slow. I used to overthink it. It's about action. I mean, if somebody wants to get in shape, they take 20 minutes a day. They go to the gym or walk or do some yoga, whatever, instead of thinking about it. They're going to get results, even if it's anything. Read, every morning, pray 20 minutes a day, exercise, set a goal. It's amazing. It's a habit. Habits of success, because most of us are taught habits of failure. Habits of frustration.
I see that some people are trying to connect with us. So I just want to know that, Doron, I see that you asked how do you sign up. So you have the link. You just need to click on it, and you're getting straight inside the live event that we're having. So Shmuel, I wanted to know that if it is okay, just let us know. So there is a link. Click on it, and then you're joining us to the live. It should be really, really simple. I see David as well. So just let us know.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. So we have a lot of, this is the time to pause a little bit, because if any of you has questions that you want us live, and we'll make sure that we're answering. So this is the time to do it. חברים, יש לכם שאלות, זה הזמן. So this is actually great. I'm really having a wonderful time talking to you, because we're getting a lot, and I think that personally, a personal story is what makes all the difference, and it gives a lot of inspiration. So what I'm doing, actually, as we spoke before, I'm actually focusing on consequential thinking, and I'm talking a lot about the emotional brain, because as you are connecting with people and you're closing deals with people, what you need to realize is that, when you close the deal, you're closing it with another human being, with another man or woman, or, everyone out there has his needs and their emotions, and we need to connect on a personal level in a way that to create trust. It is actually like 3 steps. It's like having the know, like, and trust that we all know, but it's much more than that.
Yeah. And if they don't trust you or like you, they're not going to do business with you.
Definitely.
Correct? That's simple. And the beauty of it now, just like us, I'm in the Mimiami airport. You're in somewhere near Tel Aviv, Israel, the Holy Land. Yes. I was on Skype today with investors from Ohio, Tennessee, New York, Europe. And now with Skype and FaceTime and all these things, we can do deals anywhere and build relationships anywhere, right? And that's something else that's really changed. The last 100 deals I've never seen. I've never been there. And
yeah, this is actually quite interesting because if, like, let's say 20, 30 years ago or even less, the world was like something so huge and big, and now we can go international like that. We can, do deals and connect with other people and do amazing things because the world gets smaller and smaller. So just open your mind, open your thinking, and see what are the opportunities that you have, not only local speaking, but also globally speaking. And this will expand your business in an amazing way.
Yeah. My grandfather's from Belarus, Orsha, Minsk. They would get on a donkey or walk for 2 days and go nowhere. They'd go 100 kilometers maybe their whole life. Then my father drove a car, and he would drive 15 hours, which if you drive 15 hours in Israel, you're in trouble, correct? But here in America, you drive 15 hours, you're still in Texas. You haven't left the state. And now we can get on a plane and in 14 hours be anywhere in the world almost. And I think Israelis know that more than anyone because they travel more than anybody.
I know.
So there's deals everywhere. There's opportunities everywhere. Your market is the world. I love what you just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So what let's say if we want to give value to people, because I know that we have a lot of people online with us, and let's try to focus on one or two examples on how to keep, because I know that you wrote a book that is called How Come That Idiot is Rich and I'm Not, right? So as you just described, because everyone was teaching you, you need to go to school, you need to go to university, you need to learn this and that, and you need to go specific road in order to succeed. And then it is very frustrating, but no one actually asks you, Robert, what it is that you're doing and you're good at, right? So what would be the main, let's say, number one tip that you can provide to the audience that is listening to us right now on how to make the most of their potential and their I know that you're doing a lot of personal growth, and you're all the time, keep expanding the knowledge, because this is similar to both of us, and I love it. But what, if you can focus on one or two tips that you can give the ones that are out there, how to create a bigger income in order to have it, in a better way?
So it's very simple, and that's the thing, we complicate things, and I'm going to work on two levels very quickly, and I'll save them for reading the book if you want to read it. Wealth is not a number, it's an attitude. Whether you make 6 shekels an hour a day or 600 shekels an hour or dollars, if you're not grateful for what you have, you'll never be wealthy. So when you start being grateful, wherever you are, food, a shelter, a relationship, whatever it is, it's much easier to become wealthy. And how do I know this? I was brought up, we're always upset. We don't have this, we don't have that. It's very hard to even make money when you have that attitude. And then when you make it, you never appreciate it. So let's start there. It's not a number in a bank account, it's an attitude. We're all super wealthy. Most of us have food and shelter and relationships and health and healthy children. We're all super rich. Let's just start there.
This is so true what you're saying, but I know from experience, Robert, that when we're speaking and we're saying the value of gratitude and how much it is important, and it is actually, it can be a game changer for a lot of people, but a lot of them are like hearing that and like, are you kidding me? That's what you need. That's what you have to tell me. I mean, gratitude. Come on, you better have something better than that, right?
I will,
because.
I'll go to the practical in a minute, but whatever you
I'm just giving you a hard time because I'm reflecting the thoughts that some of the viewers might have in the back of their head right now, and they're like, oh, come on, get practical. But actually, this is the biggest shortcut that I know, one of them, right? That will actually change your mindset and change the way that you're thinking and change actually the way that you're getting decisions in a way that will focus on what you do have and how grateful you need to be on a daily basis. So please continue.
money's energy, and people put so much emotion in money, and until you get over that, it's very hard to keep it. And I speak from experience. I made $50,000, then I wanted $70,000, and I wanted another car and another house, and it didn't work. I never kept it. I had the wrong attitude that money will make me happy. I was so dumb. I thought if I borrowed $1 million, I was a millionaire. So, so I've been there. It's an attitude. Now let's get very practical. I can ask one question and determine people's wealth. How many assets do you own or control? And there's only basically 3 assets you can control. One is stocks, bonds. If you have in the bourse of 2 million shekel portfolio, or 10 million shekel, or $5 million of stocks and bonds, you're probably okay. Or gold, okay. So you save and you make your stocks and bonds. Number 2, real estate. I wish I would have bought every property in Israel 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 7 years ago, or 5 years ago, correct? And what's going to happen the next 20 years? Most people know.
Me with you.
Huh?
Definitely. Yeah, everything is timing. I know a lot of people that are talking to themselves and like thinking, I wish I would bought that house like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. But the fact is, that is a thought that would not advance you to nowhere, right? You need to see how
risky, the market. But I'll tell you, I talked to an Israeli yesterday. I had lunch with him here in Miami. And he said, listen, I worked all year. I make $60,000. He's a high-tech, smart guy, engineer. He said, I bought one property. I'm going to sell it next month outside of Tel Aviv. I make $300,000 in 5 years. I'm like, wait a minute. Why don't you do a little more of the real estate thing, a little bit less of the working 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week? One deal. So real estate. So everyone knows people that made money on a house or a condo, an apartment. Why not do 3 of them? 3 deals, 5 deals. Maybe it takes a year. Maybe it takes 5 years. And you hold on to it, the right deal. We don't do markets. We do deals. You're going to make money, whether you fix it, sell it, whether you rent it, whether you wholesale. The third way, a business. You're either building someone's business or your own. You're
either you're working for yourself or for someone else.
Yeah. How do you make money in business? I've done it. You create stock. It's worth nothing. There's no business. Then you hire some people. You raise money. And if the idea is good and it works and you know what you're doing, then the stock's worth something. And if you own 50% or 80% or whatever, you can make a lot of money. And you've seen this over and over again in Israel, the exits and the startups. Not all of them work, of course. And you have to own or control assets. Very hard to become wealthy off an income. And even people that do that,
I agree.
Maybe CEOs, they take the income and they invest in assets. And then everyone says, well, I can't invest. I'm making 12,000 shekels a month, and I spend 15,000 shekels a month.
Crazy.
And I love Israel. It's the only country I know where everyone has a negative bank account. What a great idea. We go negative every month, right?
And it gets worse and worse. That's the thing.
And I understand it's hard. It's a very expensive country. But I didn't have money. You find a deal. You can raise the money partners. In America, we have lenders that will lend to anybody. We have seller financing, owner financing on businesses and apartments and real estate. Well, they'll finance it. It's crazy. They don't do so much of it in Israel. So there's all kinds of ways to raise money. That's another big issue. I don't have the money or credit. Find someone who does. People can go to Google right now and type in owner-seller financing, Florida, Atlanta, and people will finance it. You don't even have to have a citizenship or credit.
But the thing is, even though that let's say you don't have the money to invest, and then you find someone that does, you need to realize one thing. You need to create a win-win situation when the other person will realize that he will benefit when he works with you, right? There is something that you can give him as an extra value that he would not get by his own.
Correct. And, you can educate yourself. And again, a lot of people are busy. They won't do this. And, even people are lazy. So I was willing to work and find the deal, which most people are not, even though they say they are. And that's how I made money. We have another way to make money, which is called wholesaling, where you find a good deal, you put under contract, and you sell it to somebody else who either is fixing, selling, or rehabbing. It's a win-win. And you get paid for finding good deals. There's almost no risk if you do it right and know what you're doing. So I do some of that. And another big thing is we don't do markets. Everybody wants to figure out the U.S. market, the Israeli market, the Tel Aviv market. And I tell people, if you could do that, you wouldn't be on this a live interview. You'd be running a $5 billion hedge fund. We do deals. Yep. There's always a deal, even in Israel, even in Haifa and Tel Aviv and Miami, if you're willing to look. Real estate, business, there's always a deal. There's always somebody motivated. Huh?
And the thing is, it's like a horse with pads on his eyes that is running straight. A lot of people are actually having a narrow mindset, and then they cannot see, let's say, the opportunities that are out there. In order for them to see it, they need to actually take those off their eyes and just, wide their way that. And this is actually what needs to be, we need to work on that all the time, because once it's open, this is something that can change our lives. And I know that I see some questions here. I would love to share that with you so we can. Ami is the United States market is stable right now, at your opinion? And do you think that there is more options in Europe as for, let's say, if we want to have it in the United States or Europe, what would you recommend?
You're going to love my answer. Yes.
Yeah. So it's stable now.
I don't know if it's stable. I don't do markets. I'll give you an example. I'm talking in Miami, Florida, or Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv has 30 different markets. The beach, the new apartments, the old apartments, the central bus station, Afula, Herzliya Patuch. Which market? Yeah. They move differently. New construction, old construction, commercial A, which is really nice, the Bank Leumi building, commercial B, commercial C. Miami, there's 30 markets. The beach, it moves different than Midtown, commercial A, B, C. Europe. These are huge places. In America, we had 6 million residential transactions last year. 6 million houses sold, not commercial, you only have to do 1 or 2 deals to make money. So do we have students in Israel doing deals in Spain? Absolutely. They're making money. They're doing deals there. Sure. Germany? Absolutely. France? Sure. Biggest real estate deal ever done was in France. Très bon, magnifique. There's deals everywhere. So it all depends. Let's set a goal. We got to get you focused. These are huge markets. That's like saying I'm going to buy stocks. The bourse, which one? Diamond, gold.
Sometimes it can be a little scary sometimes, because, when we know the market, we usually know it the best locally where we live and managing our lives. But the thing is, for United States, for example, you know that much better than I do because you live there. And you stand and you can, you have a straight access, but as well as Europe. So how do we go to a market that we know less of and create good results there?
So I've got about 20 Project X students in Israel that I'll be meeting with next week. And the first question is how do I pick a market? So let me dig down deep and tell you what we teach them. Number one, it doesn't matter, which they're not going to like that answer. Number two, if you have someplace you like, maybe your cousin's in Madrid or you're lived in Atlanta or you speak Greek and you like Athens or you have something, okay, pick that. Then let's pick a micro market. That means what's your goal? I want to buy, fix, and sell. I want to rent. I want to wholesale. I want to buy an apartment building. Okay, certain markets will better than that. And then let's pick a specific area. You're going to become an expert in 1 or 2 micro markets. Now, what's a micro market? That would be the beach in Netanya, not the whole city of Netanya. That would be southeast Atlanta. In other words, a few kilometers, because, these cities are like countries. You got to pick an area. Warren Buffett, focus. So
just focus on a specific area of each, let's say, town, and then focus there.
The billionaires, even Warren Buffett, he says, I can only pick certain stocks. I don't do these. I don't do those. I just pick a certain area. And from that, I pick what I know. So you'll become an expert very quickly in a micro market, in a topic. But you can't say, I'm going to do France, Spain, U.S., and all that. It's too big. The United States is 50 countries.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Florida,
and I bet that each country is like different. Because there was another question that was asked by Uriel. Sorry?
Yeah. These are great questions. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm keeping it coming, as you see. Let's say the market, the real estate market in the U.S. Can you? Yeah, a lot of people are interested about that. So if you can elaborate a little bit.
Okay. So let me tell you where the question's coming from. 8-10 years ago, everybody knows someone who lost money in America, right?
Yep.
Israel, they bought in Florida, they bought in somewhere, and they all know someone, they're scared to death. It's all fear-based. No one ever asks, how can I make money? They say, which market? I'm scared. You got to change the question. Instead of saying, how can I do a deal? Let's focus on one deal. You got to close one deal. That's it. We got to get you focused. But let me answer the question. So 10 years ago, everybody knows someone who lost money in America. Why? They speculated. They bought high to sell higher. They were trying to guess the market. We don't do that. We buy below market, 20, 30, 40% below today's market. Number two, I don't know the market. Which market again? There is no market. There's no stock market. High tech, low tech, alcohol, guns, airplanes, aircraft. They move different. Same with real estate. I'll give you an example. I live in Miami Beach. Miami was the worst market in America.
I love Miami.
Oh, the
I love Miami. An amazing place.
La La Land.
La La Land, absolutely.
I live in South Beach. Beautiful. Miami, 12 years ago, went down 50 to 70%. So everybody saw that in the newspaper, in the media. And we're in the media, so I can't blame the media too much. But anyway, I live on South Beach. The beach went up 18%. It never went down. So
wow. Since when?
During the crash. Again, Miami is 5 million people.
Yeah,
it's huge.
It's huge.
Some parts went down 50, 70%. Not the part I was in. Nashville, Memphis, Indianapolis never went down. Again, but you read the media, it sounds like the whole country went down. So we got to be very careful again, which market. Number two, there are certain markets in America that are expensive. Again, they're not cheap. I don't buy there. I wholesale there.
So the whole purpose is actually, if I want to focus that, the whole purpose is actually find a good deal, know that you're buying it much lower than the market rate, or, pay less and sell for more, like in a very high difference.
Right. And we're working on sometimes 20, 30% net profit margin, sometimes a little less depending on which market. There's always something out of whack. If you're worried about markets, then wholesale. You find a deal, you get paid immediately. If the market goes down, you don't own it. We're buying, fixing, and selling usually within 3 months. Generally, markets don't move that much in 3 months. They could, but they don't. And then I bought a property yesterday for $30,000. It's worth $60,000. It rents for $900 a month. My payment's $200 a month. How can I lose money? If I don't like it, sell tomorrow for $50,000.
So the ROI is like amazingly
crazy.
Yeah,
30%. I love Tel Aviv. The ROI in Tel Aviv is 1%, 2%, 3%. I'm an investor.
You don't buy in Tel Aviv.
I'm not saying I don't buy, or I'm not saying I have a choice.
Specific deals, let's say, that are worthwhile.
Some markets, micro markets, are easier to find great deals in. Now, this was in St. Louis. I don't want to live in that neighborhood. It's not a beautiful home. It's not Beverly Hills, but I like working class. I like high class, middle class. I do deals. Everybody stop worrying about the markets. Do a deal. Can anyone tell me why I would do a deal? Now, I have a manager. I manage the manager. And what's the risk? There's always a risk, of course, but it's very low because I bought it right.
Take the one with low risks. Definitely.
Yeah. And
another question from Dr. David. He would love to know what you think about investing in the virtual coin market as Bitcoin and its similars. What do you think about that?
Well, so first of all, it's so funny. I was on the phone this morning. I'm investing in cryptocurrencies. I will say this, and I'm not an expert in it at all, but I use experts. So what I don't know, I'll find somebody. It's risky. It's a wild west. It's crazy. It's not regulated. One of my friends made a fortune. People are making fortunes. It's very volatile. It goes up and down. So you better never invest money you can't afford to lose. What are the two big risks? number one, the government could come in and regulate it or tax it, which I think they will at some point, and could affect those markets. So they could go down crazy tomorrow and go up. Very volatile. So you better, I take a small part of my money. I don't take, I'm not, when you go to the casino, don't bet everything on one bet.
Yeah, don't put all the balls in one basket.
I look at the cryptocurrency as fun money, like casino money, because it's very risky. It goes up, it goes down. However, long term, I'm a believer in it because currency is, 200 years ago we used shells. People traded shells for money, seashells. Then they used coconuts. Then they used gold. Then they used paper. And now what does everybody use? Everything's virtual. So be careful, know what you're doing, and get experts. Very hard to get good information, very volatile. So please be very, very careful. Fortunes are being made. Risk, opportunity. Risk means opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity, but also risk.
Yeah. So take the low risk and then
feel it, touch it, live in it, rent it, sell it.
Yeah, I agree. So actually, if we're trying to combine, sorry?
But I am doing some cryptocurrencies. There's about 800 coins. The best thing to do is make your own coin, create your own wealth. Think bigger.
I love it. Create your own coin. Okay, that is a good idea. Well, yeah. Anyway, the thing is here, I think that what I'm doing and we connected because we're both results oriented. It's like, how to get to the end result and how to make it with less money, time, and energy, and things that you're investing in the process. So in order to do that, do you think that backwards, like what you want to attract, or what you want to close, what deals do you want, and then how to do it? Do you find yourself thinking backwards, like from the end result to the beginning?
That's the only way. For most of my life, I was reactionary. I have to pay the bills. I'm stressed out. I have no money. I got to do this today, tomorrow. And you got to think backwards. I just took a 1-week thinking vacation. I went down to South America and just thought, where do I want to be 5-10 years from now? We do it with our students, and not just with money.
I love it. Thinking vacation. Okay.
Yeah. With lifestyle, not just money. Everybody thinks about money. Where do I want to be? Relationship, health, whatever, free time, religious, spiritual, whatever you're into. And you work backwards. And, we all create our own reality. Why are you here? Because you want to be here. You're listening in because you want to listen in. If you didn't want to listen, you wouldn't listen in. You created this reality, correct?
Yep,
and
definitely.
I think you have to work backwards, and most people don't do that. They work and work and work, and then sometimes their reality is not where they want to be, or they think about it as make money, I'll be happy, which is another false statement. Money's just a tool.
It is a tool, and the most. I'm working with mind maps, and a lot of other tools that will assist. For the people that are out there. If you're owning a business, if you're doing sales, if you're a manager or whatever you want to do, if you're a real estater, how would you make sure that you will close more deals and find more good deals in that way of, thinking backwards and create the passion in the emotional brain and know how to connect people in a better way that will get them to work with you and not with anyone else, because it's all about that.
The most important question to ask people, whoever you work with, yourself, a contractor, an attorney, is say, what is most important to you? Why do you do this? What's your motivation? What's your real reason? Because if you're not motivated, you're not going to do a great job. Mm-hmm. And so why do you want to make money? Why do you want to start investing? Why do you want to buy crypto coin? Well, it's to make money. Okay, we do a 7 levels deep. What's the next level? Why do you want to make money? Well, I got to pay my bills. Well, why do you want to pay bills? Because I want to take care of my family. I love my kids or my husband, wife. Okay, now we're into love. That's a real motivation. Or I want to travel, or I want to help somebody, do some sadaqah, whatever, charity. Now, when you have that motivation, that goal, working backwards, then when you have a bad day or things don't work out, you won't quit because you've tapped in to what your motivation is. And if you do that with the people you're working with, we do it with the contractors, with the painters, the managers. Why are you doing it?
So the why aspect is really crucial here because, guys, if you want, we can relate to the thing that a lot of people want to make more money, be rich and famous or whatever. But this is not the main focus. The main focus is why. Why do you do what you do, and what is actually the motor that is keeping the fuel in your tank? It's actually like Robert saying, create better relationship, better health, and fulfill our life with meaning. And the question is how you're going to do it and fill your tank right there and there. People buy why, the why you do it, and before how you're going to do it, right? Before the what even.
The how's not that complicated. It's really not. It's pretty simple. You build a team. You make offers, you look at deals, you say no to the bad deals and yes to the good deals, you educate yourself. But what you're saying is so key. I try to get everybody on a mission because people will work much more on a mission. Hey, we're going to take our money, we're going to help somebody, maybe a little charity, or we're going to a trip, whatever it is. And I love Israel because you know this better than anybody. The military. Nobody did it for the money or the food. I did God knows. The food's not so good. Right? You're on a mission. You take care of your teammates, your platoon, right? You have a mission. People will do amazing things when they have a real motivation.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, time flies with you. I know that the both of us could stay until the middle of the night and just, keep on going. But actually, this is the thing. I know that you're coming to Israel and you have this amazing event and you're going to give a lot of tips to people that want to know how to invest in real estate and having no first investment doing that. So you're going to show them exactly how it. What?
Even someone, a beginner, intermediate, or pro, even someone who's been doing it 20 years, I promise they're going to learn something. And my favorite word in Hebrew is tachlis.
Tachlis, definitely. So let's say one day after this live, we're going to name 3 people that actually won 3 of your books and 1 seminar of mine. So we're going to let you know after we're finishing, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a good timing for that. And actually, we have a 20% discount to everyone that came from this live to the event that you're hosting in Israel. So this is for everyone that is watching. Just say that you came from this live event, and then you can get 20%. We're going to send you a code. Just contact me on Messenger or whatever. I'll send you a link with a code, and then you'll get the 20% discount to Robert's event, this coming event. So thank you so much, Robert, for giving us your time and wise, all the tips that you gave us. This is really amazing, and I appreciate it.
And by the way, I'm always learning. I think you always have to learn. When's your seminar? I want to come to it. I'm always open.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. You're going to be a VIP guest of mine, I guarantee. I'm going to save a seat on the front row. So, it's going to be amazing. I promise you're going to have a blast. You'll have a great time.
Great. So, bye-bye.
Yep. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Robert. And we'll see you soon in Israel.
Great. Toda rabba, b'vakasha, Yom Tov, Erev Tov, wherever you are. And I want to wish everyone a lot of success, a lot of happiness. And thank you for having
a new year is coming. Rosh Hashanah is coming. We're starting a new year.
Yes. The best time to start new things, new investing, new wealth, new things.
So may all your wish come true, and health and family and everything. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you guys for being here with us. תודה רבה לכולם. אנחנו נתראה בפעם הבאה.
תודה.
Bye.